I'm asking the next question, and it's a multi-phase question, but I think I'm just going to start with the basic. I'd like to hear, Mr. Brown, what you believe the greatest challenge to public education is today.
Well, I think this is an important question. I'm glad you decided to ask this question. I think the biggest issue that we're facing is equity. And I want to clarify equity, not equality, because the opportunities that some people, by the time they reach high school, they had so many less opportunities to learn, to grow, to develop. There's so many kids that right now are going home for the summer, and while one group of families are teaching and reading and engaging their kids and they're growing, there's another group that are just trying to survive and aren't getting that same opportunity. And so in the end, it creates an opportunity that we have what people like to refer to is that achievement gap. And when Teach for America talked about this, they specifically said the reason why we don't want to call it achievement gap and we want to call it opportunity gap is because the achievement piece of it is geared towards the individual person as if they can. The opportunity suggests there just hasn't been enough educational opportunities, life circumstances for them to catch up. And I believe that we have to create a culture that will accept the differences between what we need for this kid, this group of kids, this body of kids, this whole kid is different than this kid, and it's okay to give one more than the other to catch up with equity so that they can achieve the things that they need to achieve to be great kids in our school system, but also great citizens and have the confidence to go on and achieve great things.
We'll start with you, Mr. Griffin.
Okay. So, oh gosh, I think there's a lot of challenges. So it's one of the challenges is to figure out the greatest challenge to public education. And I would have to go with the amount, the pace of life right now. It feels like we are in just monumental change. From a teaching standpoint, you feel like you start your day and it goes 120 miles an hour. And that's why I keep coming back to the idea of the portrait of a graduate, where whether it's board decisions or teaching decisions, you have this core idea that you can start to look at all the different things that are pulling you. So kids are it's a real challenge these days to get kids to read. We're finding less and less kids are doing that as practice. And so I'm sure you've had discussions, the influence of social media or media in class, cell phones and devices, and there's just lots of distractions. And then on top of that, we've got the different initiatives that we engage in, all really good things, but it's being able to come back to what is the essence of my class, my day, what can I do right now to set aside to work on the difference of those kids. And I'm reminding back to that story of cleaning out my file cabinets of all the different things that we've done over the years that we no longer do. And if we can come back into that essence of what a kid needs right now, maybe we can start to simplify our lives instead of piling more things.
You know, I think as you ask that question, I think the greatest challenge facing public education is figuring out what is the greatest challenge. I think as you look at all of the challenges facing our education society, I think hiring and retaining the best teachers is a critical challenge. I think supporting parents as they develop their children is an incredible challenge. I've been fortunate enough to umpire softball at the high school level for about 20 years now, and I absolutely love umpiring softball because I get to see a different set of parents every night. If I had to deal with some of the same parents and same coaches, by the way, I love the coaches at Fishers and HSE, they're both great. I think it would be extremely challenging. So I think it's critically important to help our parents, position our parents to do the best things for their kids. But I think some of the other things mentioned, whether it be social media, whether it be technology, all of those are significant challenges that our students face. And I think as a board, deciding what falls within your area and what you need to address first is undoubtedly the biggest challenge, because it's not going to be possible to fix everything immediately. So coming together to figure out how to rate the challenges and how to address them would be the biggest challenge that I see.
Dr. Lance?
I think if we're all sort of rolling around the same thing, there's a lot of stuff, some of which, coming from, say, a parent perspective, one of my major concerns is technology, and I see it with my kids at home, but I see it with them when they're at school too, and I see it when I go to work. This notion that having an iPad is going to solve all these wonderful issues, or being connected to the web, it's created new things, some of which we don't even know what it's going to lead to. Being disconnected and having access to this much information, but preferring to look at memes all day instead of looking up what you're supposed to look up, right? So I think there's a technological issue. There's also this notion of a gap. I know I certainly fall into this. My assumption is my students in my classes know how to do things on a computer. They don't. They should know, right, what a library is. I take my classes over and show them where the library is because they don't know. Even seniors. Oh, I haven't seen that since the library. The assumption that one technology will solve the issue is something I think needs to be addressed. But then there's another thing, and that I'm thinking of here as an issue and a problem, and it's not simple, it's complex, but it's telling the story of public education. I think there's often an assumption, again, whether it's within a community or within the state legislature, that, public education will take care of itself, or we got good schools, period. There's a lot of work that goes involved in making sure those schools are good from an administrative standpoint, from a teacher's standpoint, from a parent standpoint, and yes, despite what my son will tell you, even from a student standpoint too. It takes a lot of work, and I think facilitating those discussions and trying to come at what are our issues and what can we do to address them. That's where I think